Transport models. Hello, good morning. I hope you are very well today. We come to present a new topic, which is the transport models. Next, we will talk a little about what this topic is about. General transportation problem concerns the distribution of goods from any set of supply center called origin source to any set of receiving center called destination in such a way as to minimize total distribution costs. Each origin has to distribute certain units to the destination, and each destination has a certain demand for units to be received from the origins. There are linear programming problems that can be solved using transport models. The main characteristic of this model is that it seeks to minimize the cost related to the same of goods from origin to destination, although this model is mainly used for transportation or shipping schools. It is also useful in the definition of production schedules and tool sharpening or tool change. In which the transportation model is applied is broad and can generate solutions related to operation, inventory, and item allocation. Transportation model can be solved using the Norway's corner method, minimum cost, and Vogel approximation. That is, there are "m" origins and "n" destinations, each represented by a node. The "r" represents the routes linking the origins to the destination. The "r", A, G, linking origins A to destination J carries two pieces of information: the transportation cost per unit, say J, and the quantity transported, Aj. The quantity of supply at the origin A is Ia, and the quantity of demand at destination J is Bg.
Traditional transport models. As traditional transport model, we have the following: production and inventory control. Production control so refer to the control of all the function that the production era encompasses. That is, functions such as inventory and quality control belong to production control in its broad sense. Inventory control encompasses a set of processes and methods intended to monitor the stock of a company by knowing in detail all the merchandise of a company. Its flow and operation can be better planned and organized. Inventory control will include inventory management, which consists of recording the acquisition and marketing of products. A company must have a minimum of stock to provide a service, and must determine its order book, which is the moment at which the receivable order must be launched. In this way, a balance can be made between the items that enter and leave the warehouse in order to know their availability. Inventory control makes it necessary to take into account fluctuations in demand, lead time, and the operation of the bases to define the amount of product that are needed to properly service the customer.
Balancing of the transport model. What it's about? This means that supply from all origins must equal demand from all destinations in real problems. This constraint need not always be satisfied. The available supply might be less than the demand origin, but it might exceed. In this case, the problem is said to be unbalanced. is going to tell about balance in the transportation model. Balancing of the transport model. The balancing of the transportation or problem is fundamental to the development of the technical. However, any real problem can be artificially balanced by converting it into a problem with equal supply and demand. In the demand excess, the supply of fictitious orange is increased, which will supply the transportation costs per unit from the fictitious orange to the destination are zero, since it is equivalent to not transportation from the origin. Similar approach is used for the fictitious destinations. The image is from an example using Excel. Thanks.
Sensitivity analysis. In operation research, the solution of a mathematical model establishes a basis for decision making. However, the analysis of the results obtained can be considered essential. The results of a linear programming model can provide a lot of additional information. Sensitivity analysis is that it determines the conditions that will keep the current solution unchanged. The analysis of these variations and the calculation of the limits within which they are valid is what is known as sensitivity analysis. Any analysis outside of that range will require recalculation of the model. Objective of the sensitivity analysis. The sensitivity analysis in linear programming corresponds to the detailed examination of the limits within which the parameters of the model resources, utility, or cost can change without affecting the optimal solution, and the ability to calculate the impact that these have changed on it. That is, from the results obtained from a model, we can establish an optimal solution, and we have a range in which we can measure the impact of change in the availability of resource and change in the coefficients of the objective function.
As you can see here in this program called Excel, I had to explain the transport model problem. The transport model it will be solved using Excel using solver. To obtain the objective function only the formula some product the six variables is placed between values. It does not hide the result of zero. For two restrictions, the sum product at the variable from for 1 to for 6. We place the weight sign so that they do not move through the values of the restrictions. And then we drag the formula so that it hypes up zero. From there, we enter those data to solve the objective function. After minimize, we put the cells of the variables, and to finish, we add the restriction on the left and right side. Place greater equal, we place simplex, LP, and solve, and ready we have up to results.